some updates on the story. I have 2 weeks to get away from my husband. It's been a little bit and I thought I'd answer some questions before giving my update. Firstly, no, I didn't bring my car. The public transport here is good enough to use without needing one. I've secured an apartment and the building has good security. You need a key card to enter and there's a security guard at the desk right by the entrance to the building. As part of my contract, I gave them a photo of Alex and his family so that even in the off chance they do find me, they won't be let in. Thank God. The responses I got from the emails varied. His family said I was overreacting and that I owe Alex an apology for the problems this has caused him. The pending criminal charges puts him at risk of losing his job if he's convicted. Alex sent a long email apologizing and pleading for me to come home. He said he was worried for me and that he is willing to go to therapy if it will appease me. He wants us to remain together and he didn't think leaving was an appropriate response to his genuine concern and worry for my health and safety. I don't know if I feel good about this. The friends gave somewhat lacking replies, saying that they didn't think Alex was ever going to hurt me and that I shouldn't be letting my imagination run away wild. As much as I want to say I was surprised by the lack of support, I'm honestly not. Which is really sad and probably reassuring that you did the right thing. He intends to fight the divorce. I am letting my lawyer handle it and I am also pursuing a protective order as well. Once I got approved for my apartment, I also froze my credit. I've changed my phone carrier and number, as well as making sure none of my documents list Alex as next of kin or POA. Some have asked why I was so paranoid about Alex and his possible future actions. The answer for that is actually somewhat simple: my grandmother. I love that woman to bits. As a teen, she explained why my grandfather was never around. He was extremely abusive and manipulative, and her generation didn't allow divorce really. She wouldn't have been able to buy her house or get a good enough job to support her and my mother on her own. As such, she endured it, shielded my mom as she could until my grandfather passed. When I felt like I may have been overreacting, I remembered how she said she always wished she'd be able to see grandfather for what he really was early on, when she may have been able to annul the marriage. I don't know when I'll update again, maybe when the divorce goes through or something big happens, but until then, I'm just trying to keep my head above water. I have so much respect for you making this decision for yourself. That can't be easy. Next update. It's been a month since my previous update and I wanted to share some of what's been going on in the meantime. The divorce is proceeding, but even though I don't need him to agree, and he's not, it means I have to go through the courts to get it approved. As such, it could be upwards of 6 months to push it through, even though I am filing without attempting to claim property, alimony, or compensation. I just want a clean break and separation. Alex has attempted to use our friends to reach out to me, as he doesn't want us to use my lawyer for communication. He's saying it's disrespectful and cowardly to hide behind my lawyer and not meet with him face to face. What a manipulative thing to try to say. Alex wrote me a letter that he did pass off to my lawyer, but the contents were him justifying his actions and claiming that in today's time, it is dangerous for women to be on their own, which is why he was so intent on trying to keep me safe from them. This is actually scary. He wanted me to understand that he was trying to protect me as best as he could and was hurt that I would just lie to him and hide my actions from him related to my dissatisfaction with our marriage and my moving. I didn't reply because at no point did he apologize. All he did was turn everything around on me, as they do, as if I was being overly dramatic, emotional, and cowardly. The manipulation, the blaming, the narcissism, all a form of abuse. There was a second letter with Alex's from my sister-in-law. Her letter was honestly disturbing and completely justified my misgivings regarding approaching her in any kind of professional capacity. She spent 5 paragraphs detailing how a real abusive relationship looked like, and that Alex was the first thing from abusive. The details she included were all related to financial and physical abuse. Nothing like what Alex had been doing. She stated that my attempts to smear her brother's name for attention and clout made me the abuser, not him. I haven't really been able to process that, admittedly. Part of me can't help but wonder if she's right. I mean, I blindsided him by leaving, as I did, and am refusing to speak with him at all. My old boss recommended that I look into getting therapy after I moved, and I think I need to. Of course, therapy is a wonderful thing. I totally encourage you going to therapy, but I don't know if you should blame yourself too hard. You know, you might have doubts wondering if you could have handled it differently, but I have had a hard time adjusting to being on my own. I keep censoring myself and haven't even gone out to eat yet. I always end up worrying about what if someone sees me? What if I get in trouble for spending my money on something frivolous? Oh my God, the control this person must have had over you for you to be feeling that way right now as an adult. My lawyer is continuing to fight for the divorce, as I shouldn't need to be physically present in court. Any meetings needed between me and the judge can be done via Zoom. I'm trying to avoid confrontation with Alex and his family for now as much as I can, and pass both letters to my lawyer in case he needs them. Our friends are mostly trying to avoid taking sides still, and I'm honestly approaching the point of just letting them go as well. I feel like you can't really be friends with them if they're still friends with him. I feel like that would be really tricky, especially if some of them aren't really supportive of you and stuff. Oh, that would be hard to navigate. I'm tired of fighting for them to understand at this point. I don't know if anything is going to happen, so my next update may not be until around mid-November in 2024, depending on how long it takes to push the divorce through. Work is going well, and it's been helpful to have something familiar to anchor my day-to-day life when so much has changed and is changing even now. And we do have another update that just came out, but we are cheersing because I need a sip of water for this throat if I'm gonna keep reading. Cheers. Drink your water, bitch. This update was posted 1 month ago from today at the time of filming. It's been a month since I last updated, as I need to let the court step in, as Alex is not willing to grant my request for a divorce. We started with a mediated session via Zoom, but after 4 sessions, it was decided that no compromise could be reached between us. Why am I not surprised? The things Alex was pushing for were ones I'm not even willing to humor, let alone agree to. He wanted me to tell our friends and those I'd sent the information to about his actions that I made it up in order to gain sympathy. You're out of your mind. He also wanted me to pay him for defamation and suffering, especially the wages he lost because of sitting in jail for 2 days and missing work before getting bailed out. Lastly, he also wanted me to return and, to quote him, "stop my foolish behavior and act like a proper wife and partner." Yeah, no is correct. So needless to say, our mediated sessions went absolutely nowhere. The judge isn't seeming to buying into Alex's act, thankfully, because he has certainly tried. It took me far too long to see Alex for who he was, and part of me feels like an idiot because I didn't see it at all. Yet the judge seemed to clock him for exactly what he is within the first meeting. Maybe I just didn't want to see it. I don't know. Alex ended up arguing with the judge a lot, even being held in contempt 4 different times. Who's surprised? I think it's honestly why this moved as quickly as it did. It didn't help that Alex tried to pull in his family as character witnesses, but they were all dismissed by the judge as the abuse wasn't seen or heard by them, and as such, they only knew part of Alex's character. Of course, their family and friends. What a biased opinion that would be. In his closing statement after he approved the divorce, he approved the divorce. Okay. He went on to call Alex a narcissist, and that if Alex loved himself so much to abuse the one he married, to let the divorce happen and marry Amir next. Mic drop. I didn't think a judge was allowed to say that at all, but my lawyer just shook his head and told me not to say anything, so we left. No, I would be clapping for the judge's performance. So here's the update I'm sure everyone's been hoping for and guessed. I am officially divorced. Oh, let's all party. I would literally throw you a divorce party. I truly would. You need some new friends? Here we are. Find my YouTube page and peep the comments. We are supporting you. The documents were processed 3 days ago and I'm still in disbelief. I have no contact with Alex any longer, nor do I want any. I'm not going to give our friends my new contact information. I may not have replied to everyone, though I tried, but I did read all of your comments. I really did. Your repeated statements about how they weren't actually friends really helped me see that they weren't. So I decided, since I moved far away from that place, I needed to start over. New home, new place, new friends. It's slow and I've started therapy, though it took almost 3 months to get it due to the usual wait times. But I've been going 3 times a week ever since. It's helping even with things I thought were done and dusted. Therapy is a beautiful thing. Alex didn't take the divorce well, according to my lawyer, who's been keeping up with him to make sure he stays away from me. Shock. He did something at work, I don't know what, as obviously I have no way to gain that information, but whatever it was, cost him his job. My lawyer also did something I didn't expect him to, but something I think everyone will like. He took the letter my ex-sister-in-law sent me and forwarded it to the domestic violence organization she works for, along with a formal statement regarding Alex, his actions, and the decision of the judge. Talk about support. She has been let go as well, and given how tight those organizations are with one another, my lawyer said that the likelihood of her getting a position at another is slim to none. I actually laughed, though I was a bit teary when he said that, and that Slim is on a leaky rowboat to China. I have been crying a lot lately, but my therapist says it's normal and shows I'm actually progressing things instead of bottling them up and pushing them down. Girl, you've been through a lot. You need some help. It's okay. I'll try to update in a month or so with my emotions level out some to explain a few more details, but I wanted to get this out there and thank everyone for their continued support and encouragement. I appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. You gave me the hope that leaving him wasn't going to be this giant black mark I'd never heal from or move on from. Work is going well, and the sense of normality and routine is helping me avoid feeling like everything has been spiraling out of control. And you guys, I have seen some of your comments of people who have been in a domestic situation. So I'm gonna link the Reddit thread in the description and in the comments in case you wanna go and leave some advice and thoughts for her. She's clearly reading them. And I think that would just be so beautiful for her to have some more support and maybe some actual advice from people who have been through something similar. So I'm gonna do that for you guys and for her and for me. So stay classy out there, stay sassy, and I'll see you next time.